Hey guys, Andrew McFarlane here from StartAJuiceBar.com. Hope you guys are feeling happy and healthy and inspired to launch your businesses or grow your existing businesses. Today we are talking about obscure and oftentimes overlooked value metrics for your business. But before we dive into today's topic of conversation, if you're new to the channel and you don't know who I am, you don't know what we do, over the last 10 years, myself and our company have had the pleasure of running our own juice business concepts, as well as supporting hundreds of people all over the world launch and scale successful juice bar concepts, acai bowl businesses, and more. So all information that you're getting here on this channel is coming from experience and an early invitation to press the like button. These videos take a lot of time and attention and energy to make. The like button, it's free to press, so we appreciate your support, and that'll also obviously get this content out to more people so we can empower one another in making this world a healthier place, which is part of our objective. So also, invitation to subscribe if you like the content and to receive more of this kinds of content. So now, diving in. First, I want to talk about why I really feel like this is a really important video. Because as you guys know, I've been in this industry for a long time, and it's interesting as we do anything in life that we, over time, begin to get more clear on the ways that we used to think about things in contrast to how we think about them now. And so what I see is, oftentimes I see myself and so many of you and the people that we're coaching and mentoring and clients that we have that we're developing their businesses, I see myself in the same way, in the way that I used to think and how I think now, and also how that's evolved. And so when starting a business, there are value metrics and things that are important to a business that are obvious. And in this business, for example, it's obvious that you need equipment. It's obvious that you want to save as much money on your equipment as possible, and you want to get the right equipment. It's obvious that you need to have a location if you're starting a storefront. There's things that in this business are so obvious, but then there are things that are not obvious, which is what I'm going to talk about now. So I'm going to talk about 3 primary, overlooked, and sometimes obscure value metrics that I want to bring your attention towards so that you can really understand how to approach them, or really why they're important for your business. Now, the first thing that I see that is kind of an obscure and overlooked value metric is really the value of branding. And I talk about this a lot on this channel if you guys watch a lot of my content, and there's a reason. Because for me, early on, I didn't understand. I knew I needed branding. I didn't even really know what branding was, to be honest. I knew that I needed marketing. I knew I needed certain things, but I didn't get how important they really are. And it's taken me many years to really grasp the gravity of building a good brand. And so what happens is, in a business, everybody leaves the branding to the end. If they've got money, they'll invest in their branding. But a lot of times small businesses don't look coherent. There's, different fonts on different mediums, and their website doesn't look like their Instagram, and their Instagram doesn't look like their storefront. And there's just all these things that are disconnected from a visual component, as well as just from a branding component, not having a unique brand narrative, brand objective, something that feels specific to you. A lot of businesses, and I speak from first-person experience, my business in the very beginning didn't have a really clear, unique brand position, and it wasn't branded very well. And so this is an obscure value metric because it's hard to measure, right, what the value of your brand really is, which is why a lot of times people overlook it. But I can tell you that people are going to look at your business, they're going to hear about your business, there's going to be things that really precede their experience of tasting your product. And as I always say, it's not the businesses with the best product that are the most successful. It's good businesses that are branded and marketed the best, right? So you can have a good product, but if you're branded and marketed better than all your competitors, you will succeed. If your product's the best, it may not work for you if you're not branded well and your business isn't marketed well. So this is the first thing. And just to kind of emphasize, the reason these things are hard to measure is because when you have a company and you are attempting to save money on ordering produce, for example, you know what a 40-pound box of apples cost. If you find another vendor and you can save $2 a pound, that's a very quantifiable value metric. You know what that's going to mean for your business in very tangible ways. Whereas branding, you don't know the value of. It's hard to measure, which is why it's obscure and it's overlooked. You don't know if you upgrade your brand, what that's going to mean to your sales. It's very hard to measure, but what I can tell you is it's more important than probably all of you realize. So that's the first thing. What's the second thing? The second thing is, I want to call it customer service, but I'm also hesitant to call it customer service because it's really about how you make your customers feel. Because I think when we talk about customer service, we also often think about what are procedures and policies around our customer service. Do we say hi to our customers? And do we, how do we take their complaints? Do we have a complaint box? Do we answer their phone calls and sound jovial? These things are formalities. But I want to talk about something that's deeper than a formality, and it's really the customer connection and the community that you build around your business. I often say that human beings, we are social creatures as much as we are biological creatures that need to eat food and drink juices, but only a part of the reason that people will visit your business will be because of your product. Another large part of it is just the way that they feel from being inside of your business, from connecting and building a relationship with other customers, with your staff members. What is the overall experience? You may have thought about this too. Maybe you've been thinking about a cafe to go to, a restaurant or something, and you thought, oh, you know what? The people at that place are really nice. The energy is always good. I always make new friends. We have great conversations. And you're drawn to that place. And it's not just about the food, right? The combination of all of these things is what makes a business successful, not just a great product, not just great branding. It's the combination and the amalgamation of everything that is your business. And so, once again, customer service is a hard thing to measure. Community connection, it's a hard thing to measure. I know that there's some companies that will judge how positive an environment is based on how much laughter is in the environment. Hard thing to measure, but sometimes you can't quantify that, and they take that as a metric to say, hey, our customer service is good or our community connection is good. But the point that I'm making is that when you have the ability to create a really beautiful connection with your customers, so it really even transcends the customer and business owner relationship, and it really becomes a genuine connection of people who are in a community together, guess what? That's going to mean great things for your bottom line. Is it something that you can measure in a very, very tangible way? It's difficult to do, but I can tell you that it means more to your business than most of you realize. So this is why I'm emphasizing this, because sometimes, and I'll give you an example, it's hard to see if, for example, a customer is leaving your store and they drop their juice on the ground and it breaks, and yeah, it was an accident, it wasn't your fault. And you could look and say, okay, I can replace their drink. They didn't ask for it, but that's going to cost me, $3. So the expense is very, very tangible. But what's intangible is, hey, if I actually go and replace that customer's drink, how great they're going to feel about my business and how much more often they're going to want to visit us. Or if they decide to tell an Instagram story about it, or if they talk to a friend and are just sharing what happened to their day and they said, oh, it was so nice that they did this for me, right? You don't know what the long-term value is of the impact of that gesture because it's hard to measure, but you can measure the loss. And so if you're just thinking about the metrics, you may not make that decision, whereas I'm encouraging you guys to really move forward towards these elements that are unseen, because the things that oftentimes have the most intangible value lead to the most tangible value, which is your business being successful and you making more money. So that's the second one. What's the third one? It's somewhat related to the people equity and the feeling that people have in your environment, and that is employee happiness. Okay? Now, this at certain times can be easier to measure, but also difficult. In some ways, we would look at a metric like, employee retention. You might say, okay, what's the length that the average employee stays with my business, right? How much am I investing in them? How much does it cost me to train new people? Okay, these are all expenses to your business when it comes to firing people as well, or people quitting. So if your employee retention is low, it costs the business more money because training is not cheap. The energy that you have to put towards hiring other people isn't cheap, right? Just people's proficiency, the connection and the overall environment in your staff where people feel connected to one another and inspired to work in your company. These are all things that are going to impact your bottom line. But in measuring the employee happiness is a little bit difficult. So you can probably look at the result, and I'd say the symptom, which is employee retention, as a success metric if you keep improving that. But also know that it's so important, because when your employees are happier, guess what? The vibe and the experience inside of your juice bar is going to be better. And then when customers come in, they're going to feel better and want to come more often. You're going to just overall feel better about even working with your staff. They're going to contribute more to the business. They're going to contribute more of themselves to making sure your business is successful. There's all kinds of things. And now we can talk about the strategies of doing this, and just a few things that I'll give you quickly just to keep in mind is, if you want to make your employees happy, go do some research on something called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, okay? This is a pyramid that will talk about human needs and the hierarchy of needs. A lot of times people think that employees just work for money, but that's only a small part of it. Yes, people need to make money, but employees and human beings, right? Us, because they're not just employees, we're all humans, work for fulfillment, for growth, for mastery. There's so much more in our value matrix as human beings that are going to make us fulfilled in any given role. And so when you can help your employees find more fulfillment through their work, they're going to stay with you longer. They're going to contribute more. They're going to feel better. Your employee retention is going to be higher. Everything in your business is going to do better. And like I said, this is one of those things that's overlooked and it's hard to measure, but there are practices that you can take on to increase and improve this aspect of your business, which will ultimately make you more money in the long term. So before I conclude this video, I actually want to share something with you guys that we are launching, depending on where you're watching this, because I know these videos will be on the internet for years, but assuming that you actually are one of the first to view this video, in the new year, starting January 10th, I'm actually going to be doing something I've never done before, and I'm going to be launching an 8-week Juice Business Accelerator program. This is going to be for a select group of individuals who we're going to go through wherever you are now in your business. If you're in a place where maybe you haven't started your business yet and you're feeling stuck, or you're feeling overwhelmed and not clear about the path that you should take, or maybe you have a small scale juice business where you've been doing things on the side, selling at farmers markets, or who knows, and you want to take your business to that next step, which might look like just starting, or it might look like starting a juice truck, or it might look like opening a storefront. In this 8-week accelerator program, I'm going to be there personally with a group of individuals and walking you guys through the major aspects of developing your business, from creating a unique brand to really looking at all the principles of having a great menu, to looking at really how do you raise capital for your business, which is a big thing for so many of you out there, because you don't have the financial resources and you need to take your business to that next step, but you also need money to do that. So I'm going to talk about how you raise money, how do you go through that process and find investors and talk to them and structure those deals and everything else. And we're going to have an open forum where you can ask me questions directly that have been, the most pressing things that have maybe kept you stuck from getting your business off to that next level. So if this feels like you and you're ready and you're sincere, like I said, we're only going to be accepting a few individuals, a select group of individuals, and so you can apply. There's a link below. But overall, I hope this video has been helpful. I hope it's been insightful. I hope you've learned more about these more overlooked and obscure value metrics for your business. And as always, if you guys haven't pressed the like button yet, here's an invitation. It obviously supports the channel and supports the world in becoming healthier. So just feel like that, with every like that you press, you might be contributing to someone healing in a very significant way, because we have to empower one another. We have to start these businesses in order to help the world get healthier, because if people don't have access and these businesses aren't sustainable and they don't grow more and more, then we can't open more locations. We can't help humanity in getting healthy, which is really, our primary mission with the work that we do, and hope to support you guys in the same way. If you guys aren't following us on Instagram, you can follow us at StartAJuiceBar. You can even direct message us there if you have questions or comments. And then lastly, if you like podcasts, we have a podcast on iTunes, on Spotify. We also release the episodes on our website at StartAJuiceBar.com. And if there's anything else that you need personal support with in your business, you can email me personally at Andrew@StartAJuiceBar.com. We have a full-scale development firm, and we can help you with everything that you need when it comes to developing your business, from design to your branding work to finding the right location and so on and so forth, training your staff and the like, all of the above. So as always, wishing you guys a lot of success. Hope you're happy. Hope you're healthy. Until the next time, this is Andrew McFarland with StartAJuiceBar.com. See you soon. I hope you guys have been enjoying the content. If you're in a place where you are really inspired to launch your juice business, but you're not exactly sure what steps to take, for you, we've created a free ebook, The 15 Steps to Starting Your Juice Bar from Scratch. Now, this is going to give you an overview of all the steps that you need to take in order to launch your business. If you want to go even deeper, we created an online course, the Juice Bar Master Blueprint. This is going to go into great detail into every single aspect of the business, starting from the very beginning all the way to actually launching a successful juice business. There's links for both of these in the description below. I know you guys will find a lot of value out of them. As always, wishing you a lot of success, and I'll see you guys in the next video.